Hello, my beautiful friends. So, in that theme of when you are left with minus zero in life, no money, your health is gone to hell, um, and you're in a hospital dying, and you're left with minus zero. When you come out, what do you do? Where do you freaking start? How do you start? It's so damn scary. 3 years ago, out of the blues. I'm a yoga instructor. I went to teach a class at 7 in the morning by the beach in Florida. And I got home, I couldn't breathe. So I attributed it to red tide. And I went over the counter medicine. It wouldn't work. Try more stuff. It was COVID times. And doctors were not seeing. I honestly, it was not the first time I was affected by red tide, so it was similar. I honestly did not think much of it until it just became like really bad to breathe on this side. So finally got an appointment. Doctor says it doesn't look good. I have to see a specialist. In this transition, she could see the cavity still. When I get COVID. Yeah. So it turned out that I had a tumor, and it was a cancerous tumor. So when COVID came about, once it was over, the tumor had grown exponentially. So you couldn't even see the cavities in my nose anymore. It was very bad. It was just a constant nosebleed, but a very slow. It would just drip and drip, this horrible yellowish, reddish mucus, horrible thing. And the headaches were unimaginable. For some reason, in the morning it got easier, but towards 5 in the afternoon, it was like clockwork. Holy shit. It would just start pounding in my eye. Later on, with MRIs and everything, they found out that the tumor was hitting my optical nerve and my trigeminal nerve. So the headaches, the pain was unimaginable. So they finally get me to get surgery and whatnot. And 2 days before surgery, I get called that the tumor continued growing extremely fast now. And if they do surgery, I most likely will die or at least lose my sight. So it was out of the question. So what's the next recourse? I had a really good ENT, by the way. And this is important to tell you right now because the next recourse was a very strong chemo. And I found a doctor that was an asshole. Totally, complete piece of shit. No other word to that man. Not a care in the world for me. I saw him one time. He told me that he was going to hit me with the most strong chemo. Yet he never came to see me in the hospital. When I started getting this profuse diarrhea that I couldn't even move because I would just, and then this hemorrhage. Not even a call. Never, ever. It wasn't until my mother went from Illinois and my mother's friend and they raised hell that he finally came to visit me. And this was like 20 days I had been in the hospital. And I had to have an ileostomy because this piece of shit gave me a chemo so aggressive without any regard or any check on me or whatnot. He just pounded it. It destroyed my colon. So my cancer was here. Guess what? It destroyed my colon. So I ended up with a ileostomy. What that means is that your intestines is outside your body because they had to cut out all my colon. So I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to have a reversal surgery. So 2 days later, hospital Miami, which are the worst, there's 2 doctors there that are fucking A. Dr. Paulo Boy and Dr. Aziz. Cancer doctor and Dr. Palaboy's digestion and all that stuff. Two amazing doctors. Everybody else. Oh, well, and my initial doctor, and I don't know right now, I can't recall his name right now, but the one that detected the cancer initially. Great doctor, too. But everybody else, you can't imagine the horrible things I went through in that hospital, including the ladies that washed me at nighttime. One night they beat me up and washed me with cold cloths because they were tired of changing me. I had a continuous diarrhea, and they were sedating me very heavily because my pain doctor knew the pain I was in. But the nurses took it upon themselves to say that I was there because of drugs, because I wanted to get high. Imagine that. I have a cancer in the trigeminal. They just took my intestines, so they just left me there. All that feces went inside the wound, and 3 days later, it was infected. Yeah, infected. They let it get infected. So, what is the next recourse? They open the wound. They can't sew up something that it's been infected. You just got to let it get filled with time. Well, it was about 3, maybe 2.5 inches, 2 inches deep. I could see a little bit of my lining. Yeah, that deep. This long. Yeah. Okay? And they let that get infected. So for 7 months, I had that thing, that hole in my stomach until it finally started closing. Very slowly filling in. So I had to constantly change my bag because my feces would go in my wound. And I'm talking about 10, 15 times a day, a night. The first month was brutal. Brutal. The first month they sent me home alone. Holy shit. And then insurance wasn't kicking in yet. I mean, as far as like that part, it took about 3 months for them to start paying for my supplies. So that came out of my pocket, which now 3 years later, I'm in serious credit card debt, which I'm trying to make amends. But it make it really hard too. You know, what can I do? I'm on Social Security, well deserved. Social Security is not a government gift. I work for that shit. They took it out of my fucking check. Every month, they took money. I remember crying at times because they take so much money that I could not make enough to pay my food or my rent. I would be short for something, always, because they would take out of my check, whatnot. Okay? So, yeah. So, it took months. So, my situation got really critical. By the time I got out of the hospital, I was 94 pounds. I was on a walker. I didn't have a stitch of hair, believe it or not. I will later on talk about everything I've done through these 3 years. This is the idea of this channel, to share with you guys hope, faith, but also hard work, and how to maximize your shit so you don't struggle as much. It's hard enough for when you're a mature person. And I say mature because I do not use the O word. OLD. It does not exist in my vocabulary. It pisses me off when people, the first thing they ask me when they see me that I'm a fitness instructor, I'm a yoga instructor. Yeah, and I kick butt. And I was in a walker, 94 pounds. And then they could see me all sweating. They're like, Jesse, how old are you? I said, how old do you think I am? Whatever you want, baby. You want me to be 100? I'm 100. Good looking 100, right? You want me to be not 20? Hell no. Hell to the hell no. 30, not even. No. 40. Let's get it up to 50. That's when a woman is really ripe and her juices are at its best. You really know who you are. You know yourself, your body, or you should. I mean, there's things there always to learn, but at that age, we're so empowered. We're just really empowered. By this time, the kids are usually out of the house in their own lives and whatnot, so we have finally the time to take care of ourselves. So we maximize that, right? So it's not easy when you mature, and you have to start from zero. First of all, nobody believes you. Second of all, everybody wants to bully you. Yeah, because everybody knows more than you, than your doctors, than everybody else. And you're stupid. Or you have become stupid, I guess, because you had cancer. Now, granted, the first year was brutal. My anxiety attacks, the depression I went through was unheard of. Unheard of. Yet, I had family members, and this is a month after I got back from hospital, from serious chemotherapy, okay, that shot my whole colon. That's how hard it was. And then 36 shots of radiation in my face and brain. And they had the audacity that one day at 7 a.m, I went downstairs to grab something to drink. And I just didn't say hi loud enough. And they said that I was bipolar. That I was temperamental. That I was an old, ridiculous lady. I don't know. They had started talking shit. And from then on, it snowballed. I didn't even know I was sold later. Yeah? Now, what they didn't take in consideration, that not only my brain was affected by all this chemo and all this radiation, but that I had been in the bathroom 23 times that night. Because, my friends, I suffer from chronic diarrhea. But back then, now I had the reversal. But back then I had to change the bag and still go to the bathroom and wash because it would get everything. And then when they took out the bag, oh, I'm sorry. This was right when they took out the bag. I'm sorry. Because, yes, I was in the bathroom that night for 23 times. I remember falling asleep on the bathroom floor crying because I was so exhausted and in so much pain. Nobody asked me if I needed an aspirin. No. One day I had an obstruction and I was in the kitchen. I fell to the ground in pain. Here was this guy that he says is family of mine. I don't see him as my family, but whatever. He sees me on the floor. I tell him to please call my son, that I'm in pain. He took his time, grabbed his beer, went and got the other beautiful son of a bitch, because there's no other word for my son, because honestly my son behaved terribly. Sees me on the floor. He says, "You have to eat like a pig." Because I said my stomach is hurting and I have to vomit. What do you mean eat like a pig? I'm 94 freaking pounds and I don't have appetite. Because, for one, I lost my taste. For second, I don't have any smell. I have constant diarrhea. I can barely eat. Yes, I had a intestinal obstruction because when they did the reversal, it was too small, the hole. They had to make it bigger eventually. So it got obstructed. But, yeah, sometimes the people that are supposed to love you bully you. Because they pull out all the shit that they know your vulnerable points. They pull out all the shit and resentments they would ever had about you. God forbid. Yeah. And then they come to the attack. So, yeah. It's not easy. All this takes place in our lives while we are healing. We're aging. There's no money. We're sick. What do we do? Where do we go? Follow me. You want to hear my story? You want to hear what I've done? to get this hair, to get the smile back in my face and the love back in my heart, to be joyful, hopeful, and faithful, to love life, to love myself. Hit the like and subscribe button. I'm new to this. I'm still getting my... I really hope to hear from some of you friends. It would be a pleasure to have you along with me in this journey and share with you all these amazing things that I'm looking for and that I've done and that I'm going to be doing. I love you so much, my friends. I shall see you on the finish line.